Today is International Women's Day, and in honor of that, music streaming service Spotify has decided to highlight iconic women in the industry. They've created a hub highlighting women's achievements and impact on music, including a list of the top female performers on their service. Beyonce ranks #5 worldwide. And here on set to take us through the celebration of women in music is Shannon Cook, Spotify Trends editor. Okay, Shannon, so walk us through this list. So fascinating. You've got this hub. What can you tell us about that?
Well, the hub is basically a hub. We gathered, we've put some playlists together highlighting strong female voices in the world. You can find women of rock there, playlists of women of R&B, all genres covered. We also curated some special things with help from influencers like Ani DeFranco. She curated a playlist of her own, and she provided commentary, which is kind of cool, helping us to understand why she chose certain songs. And because we're total nerds at Spotify and we love data, we did want to find out who which female artists our listeners are listening to, and also learn a bit more about our female listeners.
Yeah, talk to me about that list. You've got a top female artist list. How do these women make the list, and who are they?
Well, at #1 we have Rihanna. Rihanna, no surprise here, Rihanna has been our most streamed female 2 years in a row on Spotify. People love her whether she's releasing an album or not. Followed by Katy Perry, who has a huge hit song out at the moment, Chained to the Rhythm. Our listeners are loving it. You've got Adele in 3rd place. Adele, of course, was the big winner at the Grammys last month and just a perennial favorite. And you've got Sia, singer-songwriter. Every song she releases basically turns to gold with our listeners. So no surprise that she's a huge favorite. And very global artist, not just here in the US. She's loved around the world. And then in 5th place, we do have Beyonce, who, a little bit like Rihanna, it doesn't matter if she's between albums or not. People absolutely love her.
It's true. You can listen to Beyonce anytime.
Sure.
You also have a listing of songs that women across the globe have listened to. What were those songs, and what are they listening to?
Well, I don't know if you're showing the list, but one of the things that I found interesting about the list, we've got Ed Sheeran. There are a couple of Ed Sheeran songs in there. That's no surprise because he just released a big album, broke 1,000 records on Spotify. Maybe not 1,000. I exaggerate on International Women's Day. Women love Ed Sheeran. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He's absolutely lovely. One thing I find interesting about this list of top 10 songs is that there are a lot of female singers in there. You've got Katy Perry's new song I mentioned. You've got a great song by Julia Michaels called Issues, and you see a lot of female singers who are guest vocalists on songs. If you contrast this list to the top 10 songs on the Billboard Hot 100 at the moment, they are all male artists.
Wow.
And I don't think there are any female guest vocalists on those songs. So what this tells me is that at the moment, our listeners on Spotify, our female listeners, want to hear female voices.
On that note, the Grammys, there were just these powerful moments with Adele and Beyonce, and you talk about Rihanna and the women that are sort of leading the charts here. What do you think it is? Is it sort of a moment for women in music?
I think women are definitely having a big moment. And if you focus on this crop of extremely successful women, like the women we've been talking about, throw Ariana Grande into that category. She's massive too. Yeah, they're having a great time. But it is perhaps important to point out, seeing as we are talking about women in music, that if you look a little closer, it is still very much a male-dominated industry, and most of the songs on the charts are by male artists. And if you look even closer at the songwriters and the producers behind the songs, the majority of them do tend to be men. Women are a little underrepresented there. And also in the area of, an area I've been thinking about a lot is EDM, electronic dance music. There are some amazing female DJs on the scene at the moment. And unfortunately, they don't get booked as headliners on festivals as much as male DJs. And at Spotify, we're always booking some really top female DJs at events because they're just as good, if not better, than male DJs.
I don't think of that genre, but you hear the music and you get excited. I mean, it's just really a good genre that you don't think of often, I think.
Oh, for sure. And EDM, as the kids call it, or don't call it, I think maybe the grown-ups call it EDM for electronic dance music. It is a hugely popular genre with our listeners.
I want to ask you, though, Spotify is partnering with the Girls Rock Camp. What can you tell us about this?
Well, this is a great thing, which I'm hoping to push my daughters into, gently push, or encourage them to do. It's Girls Rock Camp, the Girls Rock Camp Foundation stages these summer camps for young girls, and it's a great way to build self-esteem for young women through music. They learn instruments, and they're they basically form bands. So it's a great way for young women to find their voice as musicians and interact with other girls in a nice musical setting. And Spotify's done various things with this foundation. We really believe in it.
That's
and
great.
You will see, if you listen to our female-focused playlist, you'll see little things pop up urging you to check out Girls Rock Foundation and perhaps donate to them and help their cause.
Sounds like a great cause. And a great day, International Women's Day. No better way to check it out with the playlist that you guys have put together.
For sure.
Shannon Cook with Spotify. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks.